My dear friends, today I not only summarize my 2 terms as World Wizo President, but over 50 years of my lifelong Wizo passion and commitment. In 1972, I joined Adai Wizo Italia. We made Aliyah to Israel in 1980, and I joined Wizo Sevion and served on its executive. In 2000, I joined World Wizo as Deputy Chair of the Fundraising Division for 8 years and then as Chair for another 8. A total of 16 in the division, same division. My work included initiating new annual fundraising campaigns and designing all the World Wizo donor and volunteer pins. It took time. I remember Celia Michonik saying to me, "Esther, you have to open your hand and your pocket if you want to be a fundraiser." And I did just that. I started making and selling the Woman of Valor pins, Wizo Chai pins, and the Sponsor a Child diamond pins. They went like hotcakes, and the funds came flowing in. My natural empathy with donors led to an increase in donations, and approximately $24 million were raised annually during my terms. These funds enabled the buildings of new Wizo daycare centers, standardization of playgrounds in all daycare centers, and major upgrading of the Wizo schools and youth villages. Then, in 2003, I founded Friends of Wizo in Israel and served as its chair for 10 years until 2013. We raised funds and we were able to support 2 daycare centers. We, Friends of Wizo, partnered with Wizo Israel to host the National Bar and Bar Mitzvah celebration at the Kotel for 600 children of single parents. Our founding mothers, in their wisdom, decided that our movement needed a president to represent it nationally and internationally, to maintain close contact with our Wizo federations, nurture relationships with our major donors, to give Wizo a significant voice within the national institutions, the diplomatic corps, government entities, and to spread our Wizo message and introduce our movement to new audiences. I am proud that I have carried out all my duties and I was able to introduce Wizo to new audiences and to spread its empowering message through personal contacts with International Women's Club that I have been a significant member of since 1983 and held the senior positions of treasurer for 2 terms, 6 years, vice president and president, even while serving as your Wizo president. I attended many annual and national embassy events throughout my life in Israel. Many of them had no idea what Wizo was. Now they do. In 2017, I hosted a delegation of ambassadors' wives from 20 different countries to visit Wizo near Ha'emek, and they were amazed at the concept of our youth villages and were very impressed by the youth they met. One of the pleasures of being president is visiting our Wizo projects, the daycare centers, the youth villages, the community centers, and Wizo branches. Visits provide me with insight that I can share with you to instill in you the pride you should all have in yourselves and in your projects, to inspire and motivate you to do even more because you are fully capable. I have done this in all my positions over the years, and it is never more evident than during my Wizo missions abroad. First and foremost, I get to see the outstanding work you, our federations, carry out in your home countries. Your members' passionate commitment, devotion, and dedication is the wind below Wizo's wings. It has allowed Wizo to continue to do what matters for 103 years, and being able to understand additional commitments during national crisis. During these last 8 years, I was invited to Australia, South Africa, USA, Germany, Argentina, Czech Republic, Canada, Holland, Italy, UK, Chile, Wizo Switzerland, Wizo Ireland, Wizo LA, Wizo Mexico. Some missions like Australia and South Africa were very long. Due to the size of the federations, many of the visits had special significance. Special milestones in the Federation chronicles, for instance, the CHW Centennial Celebration, Wizo UK's Centennial in 2020, and a Day Wizo Italia 90th anniversary. Some missions were special milestones. I was in Holland when the then Wizo Holland President Joyce Newman received a national award. In 2017, I was privileged during my mission to Chile to meet President Michelle Bachelet. In 2019, Wizo Ireland was established, and I was lucky to be the first Wizo president to visit the new federation. Last year, I was the first president to visit Wizo Mexico in over a decade. Meeting with our Wizo members worldwide is so important. The inability to travel during the coronavirus drove this home even more. Maintaining daily contact by phone or through conference video calls is great, but they lack what personal face-to-face meetings provide: the ability to express and witness true feelings, pride, excitement and joy, warmth and sadness. I take this opportunity to thank you all for the home hospitality you extended to me, for opening your homes to host events in my honor. Thank you for introducing me to your community leaders and members that have so much praise and appreciation of your work. The president of World Wizo also serves as the president, chief executive officer to the United Nations. In each of our UN designations, New York, Geneva, and Vienna, my office is also responsible for renewing security ground passes for our delegations. Our delegations in New York, Geneva, and Vienna carry out wonderful work, and in 2017, I was invited by our representatives to the UN, Dr. Chava Bugayer from Vienna and Anne Argy, Geneva, who organized a United Nations side event on post-trauma, and within its framework, I bestowed special Vera Weizmann Awards upon Professor Samuel Lahad from Israel and Ms. Yoko Arai from Japan for a joint project. And the Dream Doctors, founded in 2002, this is a unique Israeli nonprofit that integrates professional medical clowns into Israel hospitals, dedicated to improving patient well-being. The Dream Doctor pioneering model of operation has earned the organization international recognition as a leader in their field. An integral part of your president's duties is representing Wizo in the national institutes. Currently, I am a member of the executive and the extended executive of the World Zionist Organization, and a member of the Committee of the Zionist Affairs. I also represent Wizo on the prestigious Committee for the Amendment of their Constitution. Wizo is also a member of the Zionist General Council and the JNF-KKL General Assembly. This gave me the wonderful opportunity to participate in the 6th day following in Herzl's footsteps that covered milestones in his life in Budapest, Vienna, and Paris. I was able to share the Vienna part of the journey with Wizo Austria. After sitting on the prestigious WZO committee that planned the 2022 event marking the 125th anniversary of the first Zionist Congress meeting held in Basel, I proudly headed a Wizo delegation of over 20 to Basel. And in 2023, the Wizo delegation at the WZO celebration of Israel's 75th Independence Day in Jerusalem. In addition to serving on the Jewish Agency Board of Governors, I sit on the Aliyah Committee. During the 3 sessions held annually, we also meet with the various types of shlichim and hear from them about their fantastic educational work within the Jewish communities, challenges combating anti-Semitism and BDS, and their Hasbara work. Both the Zionist organization and the Jewish Agency are very much with their hands on the national pulse, and their support for the north and south of Israel is constant. Israel's south has been under attack sporadically for the past 20 years. During the previous attacks, the WZO purposely held its executive meeting in the north or in the south so we could show our solidarity with the residents. I met with the current Chief of Staff, Herzi Halevi, when he served as Chief of the Southern Command. You have often asked me why I invest so much in these entities. It is because it yields a very positive profit. They provide Wizo with a global platform to display its work. Moreover, as a member of WZO, Wizo is entitled to a yearly allowance to cover Zionist activities, and that is a very, very useful thing. I would also like to share with you that WZO is funding 5 apartments in our parents' home for evacuees from the south for the next 3 months. In the international arena, I sit on the World Jewish Congress Executive. It convenes 3 meetings a year, one in New York, Jerusalem, and one in an either European or South American country. To these meetings, I always invite Wizo presidents of the hosting country, the Czech Republic, Canada, USA, Italy, and Argentina, to name a few. I also met Jewish community leaders, members of the US administration, and world leaders. For instance, in November 2022, I had the honor and privilege to represent you at a 3-day visit to Rome, to the Vatican, and to meet with His Holiness Pope Francis. On a personal note, during my audience with the Pope, I asked him to bless 99-year-old Renata Perez, a dear friend and donor of Wizo, with good health, and he graciously blessed her. As your president, I was fortunate to be part of very special events. In September 2019, I was invited to join President Donald Trump and senior White House officials for a national conference call with Jewish leaders to celebrate with them the upcoming Jewish high holidays. I had a second conference call on President Trump's executive order to combating the rise of anti-Semitism. Then during COVID, I was invited by President Trump to attend on September 15th, 2020, the official signing ceremony for the Abraham Accords, which was hosted by him at the White House front lawn. It certainly was the highlight of the year. During COVID, you know, really. These 3 milestones were a great honor for Wizo. But by far, the greatest personal and Wizo honor was the invitation in July 2023 by President Isaac Herzog, a great Wizo friend, to participate in Kol Ha'am, the voice of the people, the President's initiative for worldwide Jewish dialogue that is focusing open dialogue between Jewish communities and advising our President on core challenges facing the Jewish people. I would like to share with you a very humble moment I experienced. But at this time, it has taken on a very different meaning. In 2020, Zaka bestowed upon me their Woman of Valor Award. Zaka volunteers, who are mostly Orthodox trained paramedics and are on call 24/7, they respond to the scenes of terrorist attacks and homicides throughout Israel. We are used to seeing them at horrific scenes to make sure the victims are treated with the utmost respect. They were among the first responders on 7th of October, and even their experience couldn't prepare them for the carnage they would find. Even the most experienced of them are not able to describe the heinous and barbaric acts carried out by those horrible monsters. For the past 3 months, Wizo has been an integral part of the national war effort and the campaign to release the hostages. It has been an emotional roller coaster, where a simple question like, "How are you?" is not easy to answer. We are told that the war will not be short, as the government is adamant that the residents of South Israel, who have suffered for 20 long years, and that damned bloody day in October, will never suffer again. And therefore, until the removal of Hamas from Gaza, the war will continue. Wizo will continue to carry out its work and support the country as much as it can. Israel deserves peace. The residents of the south of Israel deserve to be able to live in tranquility like everyone else. It will take 2 to 3 years to build the kibbutzim, but they will rise again. They will flourish. I want to thank you all for your continuous, steadfast, and outstanding support to allow Wizo to do what matters in our projects and in our communities. I have had a wonderful 8-year tenure, and I thank you and your vote of confidence throughout. I hope that I have been able to inspire and motivate you in some way to reach to the stars, to be the best possible version of yourself, learn something new every day, be creative, be innovative, be proud of who you are and what you do, and stand tall for yourselves, for Wizo, and for Israel. As I embark in my next Wizo chapter as honorary life president, I know what I need to do. It's elementary. I will continue to do my utmost to promote Wizo as the biggest, most prominent and outstanding voluntary sisterhood nationally and internationally, as I have always done. And I hope you will continue to walk with me on this journey. Thank you for listening to me. I love you all. Goodbye, my dear friends, and God bless you all.